Hey Conway, I'm Brianna and this is Wtgr News. So, in school news, teachers and guidance have a list of students who will be taking the ASVAB test. The students will be taking the test on Wednesday, November 14th in the mini auditorium starting at 8:30. Students should report to the mini when the bell rings where attendance will be taken. On Thursday, Herb Jones will be here to order senior and cap gown supplies from 4 to 7. Make sure you attend so you can get your supplies to graduate. You can even bring your family, so don't forget. In observance of National Career Awareness Week, students are asked to dress your career on this Wednesday. For example, if you want to be a nurse, dress up as a nurse. And this Friday is College Day, so wear your favorite college shirt. If you are spotted dressing as your career goal on Wednesday or wearing Wtgr on Friday, the Prize Patrol will reward you during all lunches. In local and state news, a pedestrian was fatally struck just off of Highway 501 this morning. The accident happened in the southbound lane of Highway 17 bypass and Highway 501 in front of Pine Island Road. Myrtle Beach police are blocking entrances and exits off of Highway 501 as they continue to work off the scene. Horry County coroner identified the victim as 28-year-old Stephen Jarvis II of Myrtle Beach, a father of two with a wife and a mother in the Grand Strand area. Jarvis died from internal injuries. The tow truck driver was not injured and worked with investigators to piece together exactly what happened. A woman was found dead Saturday night after a vehicle went into the water near Peachtree Road. 65-year-old Linda Graham of Socastee was found dead in her car in the water just off of Peachtree Road. She was wearing her seatbelt and it does not seem like there is any evidence of foul play at this time. Around 9:30 p.m., responders were pulling the car from the water with Graham's body inside. She was non-responsive when emergency crews arrived on the scene. It appears she drove her car off the end of the road where there is a boat ramp. And in national news, an Arizona inmate being held on attempted murder and robbery charges escaped from his jail on Sunday. He gained access to an overhead crawl space by tearing open a hole in the ceiling of his county jail. The crawl space eventually led the 26-year-old inmate to a fence, which he climbed to escape the facility. He was discovered missing just before 9 a.m., and authorities captured him around 6:15 p.m. Before his escape, he stripped off his black and white jail stripes, placed the suit and milk cartons on his bed, and then draped a blanket over the top to an attempt to lead officers to believe he was in the cell sleeping. Well, Conway, that's all for your news. Over to Club and Guidance, and then Chelsea with your sports.
Club and Guidance announcements. Beta Club, the next meeting is December 4th. FFA, the next meeting has been scheduled for next Wednesday, the 14th at 3:25. Key Club, the next meeting will be Tuesday, November 13th at 3:25 in the mini auditorium. Conway Anglers Bass Fishing Team, anyone interested in joining should bring their parent or guardian to the meeting Monday, November 12th in the Commons. Science Honor Society, you must hand in your completed application and transcript by November 20th. Spanish Honor Society's next meeting is November 19th. Tri-M Honor Society's next meeting is November 12th. Art Honor Society's next meeting is November 27th. English Honor Society's next meeting is November 20th. National Honor Society's next meeting is November 14th. And Social Studies Honor Society next meeting is November 13th. Anyone interested in taking the Compass test for HGTC should sign up in the guidance. The test will be given on a computer on November 20th during first and second block. The ASVAB test will be given on November 14th at 8:30 in the mini auditorium. The list of students taking it will be posted in the hallways. FCA meets every Wednesday morning at 7:45 in Miss Spearman's room. Everyone is welcome. And that's all for your Club and Guidance announcements.
Hey there, Conway. I'm Chelsea here with your sports for today. Anyone interested in joining the fishing team should bring their parent or guardian to an interest meeting that would be held today in the Commons. Baseball and softball conditioning is still ongoing and would last until November 21st. Saturday, our Conway competitive cheer team will be traveling to Greenville to compete in the state competition. If you would like to ride along on the bus with the cheer team, all you have to pay is $20. Let's be sure to support our cheerleaders, Conway. Now let's take a look at your sports scoreboard. Friday, Conway played against Goose Creek, and sadly, Conway lost with a score of 41-7. College scoreboard. Clemson won against Maryland, and the score was 45-10. Carolina also was successful when they played against Arkansas. That score was 38-20. CCU dominated over Presbyterian this weekend with the final score of 65-7. Well, Conway, that's all I have today for your sports. Now let's go to Alejandra with your weather.
Hey, beautiful people. Today we have a high of 76 and a low of 55 with a 20% chance of rain. The humidity is at 65%. Tomorrow we will have a high of 64 and a low of 41. That's all for your weather. Now back to Brianna in the studio.
Well, that was an awesome weather report, Alejandra. Now let's check out the feature of the day.
Hey Conway, I'm Matt. I'm Jess. And we're here with your feature of the day. Jess, did you know that today in 1933 that the Nazis were voted into power by 92%?
Yeah, I bet if those Germans could go back in time, they would probably change that, because I hate Nazis. America.
What would you change, Conway?
If I was going to change one thing, I was letting my dog out of the house until he got ran over.
If I could do one thing over, I would probably enter more clubs during school, get involved with more after-school programs in school, maybe take up some more sports.
If I could go back in time and change one thing, I would. My first degree was music performance. I did that for 20 years, and at 35, I went back to school and then got certified in education. So what I would do different was do the education first, and then just perform.
Alright, well if I could change anything, it'd probably be my relationships.
I would have became a Christian way before I decided to turn my life over to Christ.
If I could change one thing about my past, I would have spent a year traveling or worked at a different place for a year before I could move back to Conway.
If I could go back and change one thing at any point in my life, I think I probably would go back to my mid-20s. I don't know that I would change so much as I think I would just slow down to make sure I was enjoying my life at that time. Because when I look back, I know I was having a really good time. I just don't know that I necessarily was paying attention at the time. And I think if I could go back to any point, it would be to go back to that period, say 24, 25, 26, and just really make sure that I was appreciating the life experiences that I was getting at the time.
Alright, I would not change anything, I don't think right now, because even though we have mistakes in our past and there are things in the future that we might not have chosen to do if we had looked back on them, in hindsight, I think that those mistakes make us who we are, and so therefore I wouldn't change anything that I've done. I think that our lives have a path, and that God kind of plans that out for us, and that we're supposed to follow that path.
Thanks, Conway, for answering our question today. That was really neat. Yep. Telling us what you would change. Yeah. Anyways, I'm Matt.
Look at that, I'm Jess.
Back to the studio.
Bye.
Awesome feature, you guys. Well, that's all for WTGR. Stay classy.